Today, gentlemen, my topic is CSCD, the backbone of the DevOps success. DevOps. Hope people are aware of, my audience is aware of DevOps before getting this lecture. But don't worry, those are not aware of DevOps. They will be aware of right now. I am going to tell you what is DevOps and what is CI/CD and how that is very important in the DevOps. And let's proceed further. I am Shafaqat S from Pakistan, and let's start. That is CI/CD pipeline. And first, what is DevOps? DevOps, these are the 8 phases of, these are the combination, these are the methodologies, these are the tools. What can we say it? These are a bridge between the developers and the operations. I am just more related about the software development and the operations of the softwares. You know, there is a developers there. Whenever they deploy, whenever they code their application, their application has been sent to the operations and deployed on any server. That ever there are many problems between the developers and the operations, that on my system the code is running very fine, but on the operation side at the server end the code is not running. Why the website is down? Because there a new feature has been added in the website, and at the operation the new features, the dependencies were not added in that specific application that has been produced right now, that has been updated right now. So that is not working. The new feature is not working. The new version of the application is not working. The older version is working. So they switch back to the older version. And how they switch back, they remove the previous files and get the new files, the previous one, unzip the previous one, and then paste over there. And a hectic job, a hectic work by the system administrators, the operation staff, the developer itself, and all the managers that are handling all these development and operations activities. So the nothing worry, but the worry is this: if this happens, the code is down. If the code is down, if the application is down, the business is down. And if the business is down, then you know all the business entities, whatever you have did, whatever you have performed well, that goes down. Because your business is if you are working online, then your business is on the basics of this application, and the application is down, the servers is down, everything is down. So that was very much needed. The dev and the ops, the developers and the operationals, both the combination was very much needed. So a new field of computers in 2008 that has been designed, that has been created, that has been required, and a DevOps field was developed. So a DevOps, if we talk about the DevOps, there are 8 phases in the DevOps. You know, planning of any application, then coding, then building of that code. If we talk about the build, nowadays there are 2 types of builds. One build is the convention build, and the second is the Docker containerization build. And then the testing of the application, then a release has been created and sent to the operation staff for deployment, and they deploy it. The deployment, then operations, then the function or features of the application is detected, checked, and after that the monitoring of the application is performed. So these all 8 steps has been included in the DevOps field, and an infinity loop has been created because it's a regular infinity. It's a daily basis. You can say it's a medicine that has to take 3 times a day. It's a daily basis update. It comes in this cycle. So if we talk about CI/CD pipeline, what is CI/CD pipeline in the DevOps? That is the backbone. I say CI/CD pipeline. Somebody says that is the 10% of the DevOps. Surely that is the 10% of the DevOps, but that is the backbone of the DevOps. CI. CI stands for continuous integration, and CD stands for continuous deployment. The continuous integration means your code has been continuously integrated and code continuously built, continuously tested, and release has been created. And the deployment means that has been deployed, operated, and monitored properly. If we talk about say CD pipeline framework that focuses on the reliable code delivery processes and agile DevOps teams. It involves a work and processes, continuous integration, testing, delivery, and all the features has been implemented by the pipelines in the DevOps field. You know the CI/CD pipeline. The slide in front of you, people, that the CI/CD pipeline workflow. The CI/CD pipeline workflow is first of all, that is the version control. Whenever a developer writes some code, then it pushes into a registry, and commit that code, and then a automated trigger has been built. Mind you, the DevOps is a automatical methodology that all the 8 phases has been integrated automatically. The plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, monitors, all the phases automated by the DevOps. And different types of the tools has been used by the DevOps teams to automate these things. So where one is the CI/CD pipeline. In between this, if a code is being developed by a programmer, then code will be commit on the center of repository. And whenever a new code has been detected in the code, a trigger is generated to build this code. That is automated. I build this code, and after the building of that code that is being sent to testing phase. You know the previous methodology, whenever an application is going to deploy on some server, it was handed over to the testing or QA team for testing of the application. But on new feature, on new era, what we did, we just pass this code automatically to the testing server. What the testing server does, there are many type of automated testing tools like Selenium and other. They are available on that server, and these tools are integrated in the CI/CD pipeline. And what the CI pipeline does, it calls the tester, and or that script runs on that code, and after whenever the testing is cleared by this application, automatically it forwards this to the deploy for the production. And why the CI/CD is important? The CI/CD is important because it automates the software lifecycle through coding. That everything is being um, uh, you can say automated. They are just on one click by the team lead or the project manager would deploy it towards the server. And the automation doesn't mean that that it's flawless. but there are many handles also. We use it to block this. We can automate all the things, but we use it to manually stop the pipeline and wait for the authentication and authorization by the senior, you can say senior management. And but the main thing is this, that it's very fast comparatively. If we're talking about the previous versions, that whenever somebody gives you the code, and then the code is sent copy to any USB or any other method, sent to the towards the server and upload it to the server, and then change its path and conversion to the server, and settings has done. All the things are being done right now via CI/CD automatically. And what are the CI/CD examples? If we talk about the Netflix and the Facebooks, they are the prime examples. They have successfully implemented CI/CD to deliver software updates, and frequently and quickly, even so swiftly that we doesn't know that any change has been happened at the back end. We didn't know. Even services are running. Sometimes in some area, few services are running and few services are not running. For example, there are few services like, if I'm talking about the Facebook, if some friend suggestion services are not running at that specific area, or down due to some reason, it doesn't halt all the business operations. It only one module will be down, and sometimes it looks like all the application, we just click one time, we see other results, and next, just after 1 second, we see the features has been changed. But on the other hand, the previous versions is to talk about, we got the servers right now, the servers were down because we are going to do some maintenance work in the servers, and servers will be down from at midnight 12:00 to 04:00 a.m. Right now, this never happens due to CI/CD, due to this DevOps. And if we talk about on the next, that what we have to adopt, why we are going to need to adopt this, that is deploy faster. First thing, already explain it, and avoid outage. Already tells you that never happens that workspace is down. So what? Workspace is down, don't worry, but all the other features are available of Facebook. If we say sales purchase of Facebook is down, nothing happens. Other features are available, but sales purchase will be available in next few seconds even. And improve visibility across the development and reduce the cost of the delivery. If there is anything, manual debugging is more difficult than auto debugging. Manual debugging, everyone checking one point, but in the auto debugging, we have the script. One time we have written those scripts, and when those scripts runs runs inside the testing for that application is very easy. Comparatively, a man sitting in front of a computer and then executing one by one a single command and got the results and feed it into the into any file, and then this file is being compiled and forwarded to the manager, that the following errors are being monitored during testing of this phase. All the things are being happened right now automatically. These are being done by the DevOps, and these CI/CD pipelines, those performs all the actions, enhancing the code quality. So sometimes it happens that two or more developers are working on the same page, on the same application, even on the same code, and they write one function and the other write the second one function, and whenever they are going to merge it onto the main server, then they got the conflict. They says that how we can merge it. But DevOps with the tools using Git and GitLab, we are very comfortable. Just push your code, then the other one code will be updated automatically without the intervention of any both the developers sitting in each other and line by line coding, checking of the code, and then says that this is updated code that has been rolled out. And the more thing is the rollback, that I say that some new feature has been included in an application, and then after few minutes application crashes, and management says that we have to shift it back to the previous version. So what we can do, we cannot do anything, but DevOps makes it so easy. Just one click, revert, one click, CI/CD pipeline. The previous one CI/CD pipeline will run, and that will deploy the previous code on the server automatically. If we talk about the containerization or Kubernetes environment, then a single command will put those all the containers working right now on the new versions will be rolled back, and all the application will be shifted to the previous versions automatically. There are many other tools like Helm, and other features are also available. We will study them, we will read them. Even I more specifically, as sir knows that I focus on mostly not on the presentation but on and practically I always love to show you people that what's going on and how we can do it. But inshallah, in the next feature, next lecture, we will do it, how the CI/CD pipelines works and how we can implement them. And if we talk about frameworks, CI/CD, DevOps framework, how do we can implement how this CI/CD fits into the DevOps framework, that the development of CI/CD leverage, we can take all the methodologies towards the automation. This is particularly we can say that the beneficial of application scale. We can increase the scalability of the application. If the more complex application, the more easy things for the CI/CD that it can handle them. The very simple application, it can handle very easily, but it's lovely to see that the very hectic work is being done on some application, and the CI/CD pipeline do it this work in just a few seconds, automated it. Integration of CI/CD DevOps practices, that is the most difficult work whenever we are going to implement CI/CD or DevOps implementation. We did it in our organization, and then the main problems are there, that many type of hindrances inside and outside you have to face, like budgeting towards server migrations, and even other features also there. But more thing is this, that it enhances the security measures of the development processes. It tightens the feedback loop, and it also overcomes the development soil scale operations securely, maximize the benefits of CI/CD, getting all the features if we implement CI/CD in our DevOps environment. Integration ensure that development security and operations teamwork with also our team has to work very collaboratively. I in my starting I have told you that is the combination of dev and ops. People used to ask me, sir, I want to be a DevOps engineer, or I want to be a DevOps architect, or DevOps CI/CD pipeline engineer, or I want to make my career in the DevOps field. So what the basics should I have? I always told them, son, you have at least three things. One is you know the basics of fundamentals of coding, how what is IDE, how the code runs, how the code build, how the containerized environment works. The basics of coding you should know. Now how, if you know Python, if you know some Bash or scripting language, that is very very useful for you people. Those are interested to get into the DevOps field. And and uh, and uh, I got a chance to have a view this, that there were more vacancies available all over the world, even on the remote work, for the DevOps teams, for the DevOps architect, DevOps engineers, and CI/CD pipelines. Like these DevOps people are just required right now. There is hype has been created, but you should, if you have the basics, you know the basics of programming, and very good in networking, because when the containerization environments works, the container and Kubernetes cluster automates all the things. It's automatically runs, it automatically deploys new containers, new VMs, new all the things, pods created automatically and connected together. Even same application is being running on the other pod, and they are connected and loading the sharing the balances, sharing the load of all the what the application facing. So you should know the networking, the second option. And the third one, you should know the servers, how the servers works, what are the basic Linux commands, what are the basics of Windows servers, how the servers works. You should know these at least. In from these three, you should know two at least, so that we can that will be beneficiary. Third one can be grabbed on during work, but at least two should be well aware. Then you can get into the DevOps field. If we talk about the CI/CD pipelines tools, these I have just listed a few of them. There are many. There are more than 26, but I have just choose a few. These are the top one. Even these are the big pockets: Bamboo, Jira, Azure, GitLab, GitHub. Even I have seen the people that they know only the GitLab, they just know Azure DevOps, and they get into some very nice work. They got some very nice work from and the people from the companies to do work for them. And what do you know? I just know Azure DevOps server. I just know how to create pipelines in Azure DevOps. And if you people want me to uh, show you how we can create the pipeline in Azure DevOps or in GitLab, I will in the next class I will show you how to create the pipeline and how the pipelines works. uh, and just and just grabbing one tool, you can get into this DevOps environment. And these are the tools used for CI/CD. And if we proceed further, then we say the continuous testing. I already told you that automation, whenever the automation comes, the human intervention is blocked. The human intervention has been lesser. But in maybe jobless or other things, these all will maybe happen. But if we learn the new technologies, if we get into the new environment, if you change with the technology, with the IT, yeah, as you know, day by day, IT is getting height. If you are in pace, in step with the new features or new fundamentals of IT, what are going next uh, in your field, then you you can get you can not only get, you can even uh, paid very high in this IT field. And in the CI/CD pipeline, the testing is also a very useful methodology that the men or a team is working for the testing of any software. Previously, they were doing this, but now the unit testing, the integration testing, and regression testing, all the testing is being performed by the automation, by the CI/CD pipelines that is being checked by any some individuals. I have already told you that the scripts has been written and the application softwares has been implemented in a server that runs those scripts on your application, and the results is submitted to the CI/CD pipeline. If the result got fail or there is a threshold level, that level gets down, and the result will come on the threshold level. Then we say the pipeline got failed due to the reason of the testing, and that is the third phase of the development, that during testing your code is not passed. So developer, please take this code and reset it, and remove all the bugs and other problems in the code face, remove them. So what are the fundamentals if we are going to deploy CI/CD pipelines? What we should keep in mind, that what are the things we have before deploying the CI/CD pipelines. The fundamentals of the CI/CD pipelines are the single source registry or single source repository. Somebody says it's registry, somebody says it's repository. That is the version control. That is like GitHub or GitLab or Azure DevOps. These all the software developers using Git push their code towards GitLab, using Git push their codes towards GitHub, using Git push their codes to GitLab, GitHub, Azure DevOps, or other any type of repository or registry. That is on my previous lecture. I have explained these things. So uh, so whenever the code is pushed over there, then a version controlling has been started. It should be contain the test scripts and application build scripts. All the scripts is being inducted in that code. Mind it, being a DevOps engineer or CI/CD pipeline engineer or a DevOps architect or a DevOps a man working with the DevOps, you should ask the developer, please give me the test script, include the test script, include the build scripts and other things inside that code, and push it to the repository or even Docker file if that is if we are working on the containerization environment. And frequently checks into main branch. That is the work of your uh, team lead, developers team lead. One branch is, there are many branches concepts inside the repositories, but the stable branch is considered to the main or the master. These two branches, whatever decided by the manager, is that is we say the stable code. Whenever the stable code is forwarded towards the DevOps team, then the pipeline starts running. Whenever a change has been detected in the stable branch of that project, then the pipeline starts working and automated the builds generated. And during the automated build, you people should know that there should be a runner, and on the runner there should be all the application and dependencies should be available on the runner machine or inside that code. Sometimes if we are using npm or other packages and nuggets packages that should be included with that application. And if these are not included in the application or coming from some registry or repository, then that should their configurations file should be available in the code so that the code can proceed towards these repositories, these registries for building this code. And automated building and testing of the code uh, is should be performed, and that is the very critical part of CI. Because if we build properly, then we can say that we have completed at most the 50% of our CI, because building of the code and then we forward it to the test. Self testing is the basically a build testing. Whenever the code is being built properly, then we can say that it's at least there's not a building problems over there. And then the code is forwarded for the unit testing and other things. But for CI/CD purposes, we are not the tester teams. For CI/CD purposes, the code should be built properly over our the network. And if we talk about the frequent iteration, because our code has been frequently iterated, the code we converted code is being again and again the developer fixes the bugs and updated the code, and then again if the pipeline runs and the build is created and changes backs, and if there is any conflict or any problem then on the major changes, that is being handled by the team lead. That is being the merge conflict if some merge conflicts are happens over the repository, that is managed uh, by the uh, team lead. So as a DevOps engineer or as a DevOps guy, you should know that the frequent iteration during frequently iteration, never run your pipeline again and again. Just wait, and then after completion of one pipeline, then forward it to the other. Because if one pipeline is in the queue and the second one start running, they will wait, and might be you did not focus on the results of the first pipeline. So never run the pipeline if the same pipeline is running once. So wait, or cancel it and rerun this pipeline. And stable testing environment is very important. And your server where the runner or where the agent is running, where we are using the computational power of any server that is being triggered by the pipeline, that server, we should know that we should configure all the settings, all the features on this testing environment should be up to date whenever we are going to initialize any test that is might be pre-built or after build test. And then the seventh part of the fundamental is maximum visibility. Every developer should be access to the executions on the changes made to the that maximum visibility means that everyone should monitor the process. Sometimes what can say, most of the times we create multiple pipelines. One pipeline for the dev in dev environment, one pipeline for staging environment, and the third pipeline for the operational environment. So on the development environment, whenever the developer pushes it, this pipelines runs automatically and deploy the code on the dev environment. We can say dev or development dev environment, and they can see the results. And I recommend you all the people, if you are going to create a CI/CD, you should create first CI/CD for your developers, so that whenever the developer want to test any code and how the code will run on the server, how the code will behave when getting on to the server. You should get a server as a dev environment for them, and whenever there any change in their branch of developer branch changes happens, that a pipeline but the pipeline runs and automatically send the code towards the dev environment, and so that the developer can see it. So maximum visibility, ensure the maximum visibility. So all the people facilitates that on staging server, this application is working fine. Let's proceed towards the final or operation server. So we can predict predictable deployment anytime. Deployment, most of the time DevOps guy says that on the Friday at last hour, we got here from from the developers that today we are going to have a deployment. We are going to deploy the application, and the DevOps team sits down and waits. So whenever the code will come, and but don't worry if your pipeline is robust, if your pipeline is testing is very good, if your pipeline is fine, then you shouldn't be worried about. You just stay cool and calm and say the junior most guy will be here. He just whenever you have to push the code, just told him, he will see all the pipeline functions are is that working properly or not, or tells you. No need that all the management and all the operations and all the general managers and available at the time of what we can say deployment as a new version of the application is going to be launched. Don't worry, if you have a robust pipeline, and then everything will be happens automatically, that and with a very low risk. And if something happens otherwise, you can roll back on just one click. I had already told you. And what are the benefits of CI/CD? If we talk about the benefits of CI/CD, then we can say that the happier users and the customer, and accelerated time to values, and less firefighting. You shouldn't have to, firefighting is very difficult for the system administrators, that we have changed we have to check box this, we have to check this checkbox and uncheck this checkbox. Don't worry, that will be performed by that script automatically. That will be performed by the bash scripts or PowerShell scripts, or by Python scripts, or even PHP scripts, or webhooks, or other many things. Many scripts are available, and pipeline in YML file will do everything for you. Don't worry. What you have to do, just write a perfect pipeline whenever you started. Accelerated time to values, and user always happy. If there's no problem, then everybody is happy that everything is going smooth. Nobody cares. And the more important thing is the timelines. Sometimes it happens that all the codes has been developed but not deployed due to dependencies errors and the servers and developer environment variation. This overdue, because the developer decided that on the last week that we will deploy it on the last day of whatever the our we can say what is the last day. So on the last day, the operation staff, how it can be handled. So If you have a reverse pipeline, then nothing happens, everything. And it also saves the developer's time. Save the developer's time. A study has been used that says that 35% to 50% of the time on the testing, validating, and mm, debugging. These are all the things when going on the automatic. The developer will be relaxed. He knows that just push into the pipeline and check the results and find what are the reports generated by the pipelines, read those reports and remove all the other features, what are the problems in our code. So they are happy, developers are also happy if if our pipeline is very perfectly designed. And less context switching, again and again switching is less, reduce burnout, recover faster. Already I have discussed. But how the pipeline works, see on the on see sir, please, next slide. Now see on this, you can see how the pipeline works. The code when committed by on the next slide, you can see on the next please, sir, on this slide. Yes, you can see the code. If the code commit, if the code is any code is designed by the developer and commit it towards repository, and then CI pipeline runs. And what the CI pipelines do, that build, test, and integrate and forwarded it to the CD pipeline. What the CD pipeline does, both are the same pipeline, but what the CD portion do, that review and send it to the staging server. And then if the staging is successful, it is forwarded to the production server. This is the basic workflow of the pipeline. And if we are working on the Kubernetes or Docker containers environment, then the next slide is for this. On the next slide, we can see the developer on number one. The developer, that is more specific, that is more self-explained, that number one, developer push the code to the GitHub or GitLab or Azure DevOps. That is the Azure DevOps. That is, here is the GitHub. That is forwarded, and Azure DevOps pipeline runs and build and push it to the Azure container registry. That is, the container is being generated over here. And after, on the fourth step, that container is deployed to the Azure Kubernetes cluster. For the fifth number is developer environment, dev environment. Then the dev environment, developer sees it, and when the dev environment is okay, then the CI/CD pipeline runs and take it to the QA environment. And the QA tester performs some actions manually also. And when he manually clicks on the pipeline, okay, then it's deployed automatically on the staging server. And after the staging, the verification of the pipeline, verification of the applications done, then it's forwarded to the production server. That is very, very self-explained slide, that how pipelines works. So any question, please? Today I have explained you the backbone of DevOps, that is the CI/CD pipelines. Any question?